The date now is Thursday, the 5th of March 2020. The time's 8:55 a.m. I've just made an appointment with my GP, which I'll be seeing them later on this morning, regarding the accident I had last night in my room, trying to move the chair. When I went to Femi to say, can she document it, that I'll need to speak to management, I was shouted and abused to get out of the office or they're going to call security to restrain me and remove me for no reason. So I've made the appointment. Anyway, I'm going to now tell you about just a few of the patients I've met in hospital and what happened to them. Firstly, in the year late 1999 into the early 2000s, he's only there for 2 years, there was a guy called Eden Strang. I'm not sure if you remember, around 2000, it was reported that he went into a church naked with a samurai sword, attacking people, trying to kill them. Okay? And he was sectioned and sent to Springfield Hospital. He was there the first year I was there. As soon as I met him, I liked him. We started talking. I had already known about everyone's getting scanned. I knew I was getting scanned. I said, so why are you here? He told me his story. This guy was an intelligent guy before hospital. He had a good job, he had his own place, he had a wife and he had a young daughter. He was working well. A few years before he came to hospital, he'd already been stabbed for no reason. He showed me the injuries. Anyway, so he tells me, he wakes up one day, he starts hearing voices. The voices tell him the people at his local church are demons. He should go there and kill them. So somehow he gets there. I don't know how he went there naked or took off his clothes. He had a sword and he killed people, injured a few people. He was sectioned under the Mental Health Act, given a high section, attempted murder. He got sent to Springfield. When he got to Springfield, because now he couldn't work, his wife and daughter were visiting him from their house. He was in Springfield. He was forced to be on medication. He was on the same ward I was. What they were doing to this guy, they were scanning him every day. They scanned him into hospital. Basically what happened is, eventually his wife left him, took his daughter. He had lost his job ages ago. He lost his house. So now he's been in hospital 2 years. I need a real Eden Strang. The man that got discharged is not Eden Strang. Eden Strang is dead. Okay? And I'll tell you why in my future reports. Now that's Eden Strang. Okay? The naked church attack. The next one, Chris Ezuwali. I also knew the real Chris Ezuwali. He was there also in the year 2000 on, I believe it was Seymour Ward or Turner Ward at the Shaftesbury Clinic at Springfield Hospital. Eden was at the Shaftesbury Clinic at Springfield Hospital. Okay? Chris Ezuwali, I believe, was also murdered and taken over. That's what I believe. Okay? And I can prove it. I'm there being bombarded with telepathic attacks every single day. These are what they used to say to me. David, your mum's a slag, you're a fool, we're going to kill you, kill yourself. That's the sort of flavour of what I was getting. Kill yourself, attack someone, we're going to kill you. And all the stuff, you're not allowed this, you're not allowed that, you're not allowed this. When I would request, please give me a list of these rules. There's so many, how can I remember them? I'm meant to have a mental disorder. They refuse. They won't give you nothing in writing. You're meant to just remember everything, okay? So that's the culture. Every day I'm in my room or I come out to go and get a drink, I'm being bombarded with the verbal abuse from patients. They tried to attack me. Chris Ezuwali, when he was taken over, the real Chris had been murdered. I know how they did it. I'll tell you later. The person who took over Chris's body would continually be one of the worst attackers, the worst abusers of me. There was a time, check this, remember for the whole of this time, I know I've got a higher power helping me because they've been talking to me and they've been talking to them. I hear the staff and the evil patients talking to each other. They think I can't hear them communicate. I hear them by scan. They talk by scan. And these are the times when the voices, as they call them, in my ears, were loud and everything was strong, 10 times stronger than what it was for a normal person, yeah? Anyway, I'll tell you what happened with Chris. There was a time, I believe Chris Ezuwali was there when I was recalled. Sorry, Chris Ezuwali was there from 2003 until 2008. He was there a long time. And then there's a time in, say, 2004, 2005, or 2006, on Shaftesbury Clinic, I was outside smoking. Chris comes out, says the usual thing, David, your mother is a slag. And instantly, the voice that's been helping me, said, I'm going to kill you, Chris. And I was so happy I heard that, because that man has been abusing me from day one. I'll tell you what happened. So, I'm used to it. So I didn't say nothing. They all say it. The staff say it. So, I think a year or a couple of years, I'm discharged. I go to Lona Lodge Mental Health Hospital in Sutton. You know the story. So I get recalled about a year, 2 years after. I come back and I hear that Chris died in his room. He died. I said, what happened? They said, well, they came into Chris's room one morning and they found him lying in bed and he was dead. They called the police and all that. When the autopsy was done, they said they could find no cause of death. Yeah, they said he had loads of stringy things. He could have strangled himself. He could have done it. But how can you strangle yourself asleep? His eyes were closed. No one could get in his room. His room was locked from the inside. He was sleeping. How could you strangle? The intimates he had around his wrist were still on his wrist. You can't kill yourself then put it back on your wrist after you're dead. I know it's the higher force that killed Chris because of his continuous abuse of me and of other patients and his multitude of attempted attacks to attack me and injure me. So Chris died, and when I came back, they put me in that room. The person who was in that room before I got there, in Chris's room, refused to sleep on the bed. He was afraid that he might die. He was sleeping on the floor for the whole time he was there. Anyway, he got moved on. They put me in that room for about a year to 2 years, hoping I would die. So that's Chris Ezewali. That's between the years of 2003 to 2008 at the Shaftesbury Clinic. When I was there for a complete 10 years with pretty much no leave, I couldn't leave. The next one, Frank Conjure, I think his name is. He was there, I've known him from the very beginning. The real Frank was there in the year 2000 onwards. He was the real Frank. They were scanning him up to scanning me to be aggressive and all that. And when I got moved to another ward, he was also murdered and taken over. The Frank Conjo, who now possesses Frank's body, is one of them. The next one, Paul Caesar. I knew Paul Caesar. I met him 2-3 times. In 2000, I played badminton with him. I never really knew him. I just saw him. Now, about a couple of months after that, I get a report that Paul Caesar walks to Tooting Bec station and jumps in front of the train and gets killed by the train. It was them. They bombarded him with voices, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. They scanned him to go to the station and jump in front of the track. They do it to everyone. All them people that commit suicide like that and his class is mentally ill, they're getting scanned by people around them, their family members, people they know, put all these thought processes into their heads, abnormal thinking, abnormal body functions, and this is what happens. They kill you. The next one, this is when I'm at Farmfield. These are my friends at Farmfield who told me a lot of the stuff I'm telling you. There was a guy, Trin, I can't remember his last name. Between the years 2016 and 2018, he was with me at Farmfield on Newdigate 1 and Newdigate 2. That man was paid over £50,000 to attack me, to agitate me. When I first came, that's what he was doing, as all the patients were doing. But when he got to know me, he started to like me. When we'd go on leave together, I would tell him all the things I know. And he would always confirm it. He would say, yes, yes, yes. He'd say, yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah. So I knew. And he told me, in other words, by scan, what they paid him and what they were giving him. They were allowing him, to go to Crawley Town Centre and go to a brothel, and every Friday he would be having sexual intercourse with a prostitute, and then he'll come back and they will pay for it. He didn't have to pay for it, they were paying for it. That was his reward because he liked sex. That was his reward for continuing trying to attack me, okay? And because he wouldn't do it, they stopped him doing that. They didn't give him leave. They got him to smoke cannabis, and the doctor was instructed not to give him unescorted leave. For the whole of that 2 years he left, or year he's left, he couldn't go on his own, okay? That's Trin. The next one, Bobby, a big guy, big white guy, fun-loving guy. They also paid him over £50,000, promised him billions more if he could attack me and kill me. Him and another patient, Lee, from prison, there was nothing wrong with him. He was approached in prison and told, if you agree to go to Farmfield and kill this guy, we will give you loads of money, we'll get you out of there. Just tell them you're hearing voices and we'll get you transferred, which he did, and they transferred him there. In the year 2017 to 2018, and 2017 to 2018, Lee and Bobby were on Newdigate 2 or Newdigate 1 of Farmfield Hospital, now Elysium Healthcare. They were there to attack me. Because they couldn't attack me in any of the lounges or the communal areas, the staff said, okay, If you come with us and help us get into his room at night and murder him, smother him with a pillow, beat him up, we will pay you money and all that, yeah? They tried every night. They tried to enter my room and kill me while I'm asleep. The higher force told me, and the higher force stopped them, otherwise I'll be dead. So that's Bobby and Lee. Between the years 2017 and 2018, when I was at Farmfield, Newdigate 1 or Newdigate 2, every day they were trying to attack me, and then they got to know me, and they would confirm the things I'm telling you now. They would confirm, they told me they were paid, they were given privileges. There was a particular member of staff, I can't remember her name now, in my previous board, she was the facilitator. If you needed money for anything, you needed leave, you needed whatever, she would arrange it with the doctors and the management and you would get it. Patients were allowed to go and leave with staff, go to hotels and have sex with them. Before I got there, they were having sex on the ward. But because I'm there and they want to kill me, they didn't want me to see it, they stopped that process. But they could go out and do it. Female patients would take patients who supposedly shopping, they were going to have sex at a hotel or at the staff's own home. There were certain doctors, female doctors, that were doing that when they felt like having sex with a patient, they'd arrange it, meet them somewhere, have sex with them. Richard Barker was a big guy. He was on my ward. He was also paid. His family are with them, but he's not. He's with us. He was paid to attack me, to abuse me, try and get into my room with staff and murder me in my sleep. Like that, he taught me all of this. He began sneaking tobacco onto my ward so I could have a secret smoke because I'm stuck in my room being continually telepathically attacked, all sorts of thought processes, body disorders. I couldn't even go out for a smoke. I couldn't even use an e-cigarette. So he would smuggle small amounts of tobacco, Rizla and a lighter, so I could have a secret smoke at night to relax me and give me something to take my mind off the scanning. Yeah? And he told me his family were also involved. They were also paid. They're willing to give you statements how they were paid. They were approached by their leaders. His name is Richard Barker. He was there on Newdigate 1 and Newdigate 2 between the years of 2017 and 2018. There was a member of staff, a black member of staff called Ikeni. He was a ward manager of Newdigate 1 or Newdigate 2. He was there to sexually abuse me. I put it in my reports. For the whole time I was there, he was scanning me, trying to sexually abuse me, trying to get into my room at night while I sleep and rape me in my room. He's done it to other patients. He's a ward manager. If a patient complains or reports it, he will deny it and say that person's mad, they're ill, and it was always dropped. He got away with it. He's a serial abuser. If you access his phone or his devices, you will see thousands or millions of child sexual and homosexual sexual images on his devices, on his computer, at his house. He was a sex madman. He was all inserting homosexual thoughts into me on a regular basis. Okay? He would do night shifts so that he could try and get into my room at night and sexually assault me in my room. He was the one coordinating the attempts to attack me during the day, telling other patients how to attack me, when to attack me, and giving them rewards and privileges. His name was Ikeni. I can't remember his last name. My doctor at Farmfield was a Dr. Richard Baxter. His supporting doctor was a Mahmoud Bhatti. At first, they were attacking me and abusing me too, but they were forced to and paid. They're paid. You can access their bank accounts. They can prove they were given millions for this purpose. From the whole time I was there, Dr. Baxter was continually threatening to put me on injections, put me on this, restrict this, take away my leave for no reason. There was a time I was in the town on my leave. I was alone, right? I went to the town, I purchased a tin of Stella. I was sitting outside the shop, drinking it. I was alone, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. One of the scanners was in the shop watching me. I knew she was one watching me. When I got back to Farmfield after my leave, it must have been an hour or two, Dr. Baxter and 2 or 3 members of staff come to my room, demand to see me, and he said, this is what Dr. Baxter said: I have a reliable source that says you were in town today drinking Stella. I denied it because I know they have. How can they know? I must have been watched, and I denied it. And they issued a breathalyzer test on me. It's documented because it is so long, and I had brushed my teeth before, so they wouldn't smell it on my breath. It came up negative. Shortly after that, Dr. Baxter began to like me. Now, you have to remember the culture at Farmfield, which is why I was sent there, is you are not allowed anything. The smallest item, they can tell you what brand of shampoo, soap, cream you can use. They can tell you items you're not allowed. You're not even allowed any form of naked pictures. When I said, can I get some porn? I can't. I need to masturbate. No, you can have soft porn. You can't see penetration. Understandably. But why am I not allowed anything? So, because for the whole 10, 12 years, I've always been in my room, I'm used to it. So every day in Farmfield, I'll stay in my room all day. If I go to get a drink, staff or patients will come trying to scan me or trying to attack me. I go to get my medication, continuous attack. My key worker at the time is a guy called Lars. I can't remember his last name, but he was good. He was with us. So anyway, can't remember what I said. Can't remember what I was saying, but there you go. That's farm. Anyway, so you're not allowed anything. To go out and have a smoke, you have to go on community leave. You have to walk a mile from the grounds to smoke. You're not allowed to smoke on the unit, in the garden, on the grounds. You have to go, and you can't go if you're escorted. You still can't smoke. It was targeted at me so that the agitation would stay. I would have no way of relieving my agitation, my anxiety, my nervousness. For all of my last 20 years, I've been a nervous wreck, in fear of rules, in fear of being placed on injections, my medication increased, in fear of being attacked by staff or patients, continuous abuse, continuous psychological, emotional, and physical abuse, and documents falsified, lies told about me to make me look like, oh, he's mad, don't believe him. So anyway, I'm not allowed nothing. So all day I'm in my room, in a hot, small room, getting blasted and telepathically attacked. I can't have anything. I can't go for a smoke. I had to sneak, I had to smuggle a small e-cigarette so I could, when the staff are not around, I can occasionally have a few puffs to relieve my anxiety, stress, and worry and agitation. Eventually, Dr. Baxter granted me 2 hours leave every morning. I could, every day, 2 hours, yeah? I could go off the grounds, smoke, come back, and then the next day I can do the same thing. So when I started doing that, I said to them, I don't need 2 hours. Can I have 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon to break it up so I can have a smoke in the morning, smoke in the afternoon, last me all day, okay? They said no. They said, no, you have to take it all at once or you can't take it. I said, what about if I come back early? No, you can't take it. So I'd go every morning, I'd have to walk a mile from Farmfield, stand in the middle of the road, a high road, and smoke as much cigarettes as I can. That's when I started using my smartphone, making posts on Facebook, exposing this and doing that. Anyway, so that's how it was, okay? They wanted me to get lung cancer. They wanted me to stress. Everything, I had to suffer everything. Even walking, talking, eating, I had to suffer. So anyway, so then in 2018, Dr. Siddiqui comes, transfer me here, and I'll continue my report shortly. Thank you very much.